Hello friends, today we will explain Richie Rich. The story is very fun, so make sure to watch the video till the end. In the beginning, we see Mr. Rich dancing and celebrating, saying, "My wife has given birth to a son." Everyone is happy for Mr. Rich. He is the richest man in the world, and he raises his child in the same luxurious way. Mr. Rich is very busy, but still gives priority to his son, Richie. Richie had everything a child could ever dream of. He even loved baseball and was very good at it. Then we see that a company was going through a huge loss, and many people were being laid off. Becoming unemployed, Mr. Richie bought this company. The employees of that company invited Mr. Rich, but he couldn't come, so he sent his son instead. Richie goes there and gives a great speech in front of everyone. Everyone is happy and claps for him. But while speaking, Richie sees some kids playing in the field. He wants to go and play with them too, but he can't because his schedule is always full. He tries to befriend those kids, but suddenly his security guard comes and pulls him away. The guard says, "You can't go there. You don't have permission." But then Cadbury comes in and says, "You can't just pull Richie like that. I'll get you fired." Richie goes home in a helicopter, but he's sad. He watches the kids playing from the helicopter and thinks, "How lucky they are. I have everything, but I can't be free like them." Later, when Richie goes home, he meets his dog and loves him very much. Richie's mom shows the statue of their family to Mr. Rich. Mr. Rich says, "Was that really necessary?" Richie's mom replies, "We can do anything." Then Richie tells his dad, "I gave a really great speech at the company." His dad was about to praise him, but then the secretary says, "Sir, the President of the United States is on the phone. He needs some funds from you." Mr. Rich says to Richie, "Son, I'll talk to you later." Later, Richie asks his mom, "Can I invite my friends over to the house?" His mom happily says, "Of course, son. You can invite them." Then Richie's chemistry class starts. The physical chemistry professor shows Richie some of his new inventions. He shows him a very unique whisk and says, "It took me a long time to make this." Then he shows him a remote-controlled fly and says, "This tiny thing can be grown to any size using this formula." And he gives Richie a remote to control it. Richie tries to lift it, but something goes wrong and the robot breaks apart. But the professor doesn't worry at all. He says Richie can easily pay to get a new one made. Now we're introduced to the villain of the movie, Lawrence. He's a family friend of the Rich family and manages their accounts. But deep inside, he's greedy and wants all their wealth for himself. Richie didn't like Lawrence. That's why during meals, Richie would sit far away from him. Mr. Rich used to donate a lot of money to many places. Richie didn't know about this, but Mr. Rich believed it helped a lot of people and made him happy. However, Lawrence didn't like this. He was unhappy that Mr. Rich kept giving money away everywhere. Then Mr. Rich shows Richie a special gadget, a dirty-looking sock which could turn a smell into an audio message. Before leaving, Lawrence tells Mr. Rich, "You should stop donating money. It doesn't benefit us in any way." Mr. Rich replies, "In the end, all we leave behind is goodwill." And his wife also supports this, and that they should think about the needs of the public too. But Lawrence gets angry inside and walks away quietly. Now it's morning. Richie's caretaker Cadbury comes to wake him up and says, "It's time for your exercise session." A girl comes for the session too, so Richie quickly jumps up, excited. He starts doing exercises right next to her. Cadbury also likes the girl a lot, so both of them try hard to exercise properly. Later, Richie sits beside a special system from which he can contact his dad anytime, anywhere in the world. Even if his dad is in the farthest corner of the globe, Richie can connect with him. Right now, his dad is in a meeting with the president at the White House, but still, Richie manages to contact him. Then Richie heads to school, but his school was very unique. All the kids there were taught only one thing: how to run a business and manage a company. Richie's classmates were all rich kids. They only talked about money. Richie invited them to play with him, but they say, "We're very busy. We have to attend meetings with our dads." So when Richie was going home, he felt very sad. His caretaker, Mr. Cadbury, was with him and noticed this. To cheer him up, Cadbury took Richie to the same place where he saw regular kids playing the other day. Richie walks over to those kids and says, "Can I play baseball with you guys?" The kids say, "You're so rich. How can you play with us?" Richie replies, "But I do play baseball. Please let me join you." The kids finally agree and let him play, but they place a small bet. Whoever loses has to pay $10. Soon, the game starts. One of the kids is Millie, a girl who isn't afraid to speak up in front of Richie. Richie gets ready to hit the ball, and when the girl pitches, he hits it so hard that the ball lands all the way in the courtyard. It was an amazing shot. Everyone is shocked and amazed. But then they become sad because they lost the game. Even though Richie didn't care about the money at all, he just wanted to make friends. But the kids say, "You're not like us. You don't belong here. Go away." Richie feels hurt and sadly walks away. Later, Richie and his parents are about to fly somewhere in their private plane, but Lawrence sends one of his men to place a bomb, TNT, inside their airplane so that all three of them would die, and then Lawrence could take over their entire property. Richie's dad is getting ready to leave, but Richie's mom notices that Richie looks really sad. So Cadbury explains, Richie just wanted to make some friends, but he couldn't. So Cadbury suggests, "Don't take Richie with you on this trip. Let him stay here." They agree and leave Richie behind, but Lawrence thinks Richie is with them on the plane. Meanwhile, Cadbury notices Richie is still feeling sad. He asks, "Why are you so down? I've arranged a surprise for you." He takes Richie outside, and guess what? All the kids Richie had played baseball with are standing there. Richie feels so happy seeing them. He invites them inside and gives them a tour of his huge mansion. The kids are shocked. They had never seen such a big house in their lives. Then Richie takes them to his personal McDonald's and treats them to food. Everyone enjoys it a lot. He also shows them different amazing places inside his house. The kids are amazed. There were so many things they had only dreamed of experiencing, and now they were actually doing it at Richie's house. Richie even gives his friends a ride in his fancy car. One kid is shown happily eating ice cream. Richie then sits and chats with Millie, saying, "This is nothing. I still have so many other fun things to show you." Meanwhile, the atmosphere is beautiful, and everything feels like a dream for Richie and his new friends. Earlier, Lawrence had ordered his man to place a bomb in Mr. Rich's plane. Mr. Rich and his wife were flying in that same plane. During the flight, Mr. Rich says to his wife, "You fly the plane. I'm going back to get something to eat." While Mr. Rich uses the voicemail gadget that converts smell into sound, he accidentally places it on a box, and it says bomb. Mr. Rich gets suspicious and opens the box, and inside, he finds a TNT bomb. Realizing the danger, he quickly throws it out of the plane, but the bomb explodes, and the back part of the plane is destroyed. Back on the ground, news spreads that the plane has crashed, so Lawrence starts celebrating, thinking his evil plan worked. Meanwhile, Millie's mom is taking all the kids back home, and Richie learns something shocking. Cadbury had offered the kids $10 to come visit Richie that day. Richie feels hurt, thinking the kids only came for the money, not because they were real friends. Cadbury apologizes and says he just wanted to help Richie feel happy. But now, things had changed. The kids had truly become Richie's real friends. Meanwhile, Mr. Rich and his wife had survived the explosion. Back home, Richie learns that his parents' plane is still missing, so he rushes to contact them using his high-tech system. But the signal is too weak, and he can't reach them. At that point, Lawrence's men tell him Richie were not on the plane, and if his parents are dead, all their property now belongs to him. Then Richie gets a call from Millie, who tells him, "Our company is going into loss again." So Richie makes a big decision. He says, "I'll go myself and take control of the company." When he arrives at the office, Lawrence is furious to see him there. But Richie takes charge and starts fixing all the company systems. He changes the decisions made by Lawrence and takes smart steps to recover the losses. Seeing all this, Lawrence becomes even more angry and jealous. Now, he wants to get rid of Richie no matter what. But Richie doesn't do it all alone. He gets full support from his caretaker, Cadbury, who helps him at every step. Now, Richie runs the company like a boss, while his parents are still missing. Until they return, he manages the all-important matters. His friends also visit the company and play games. Meanwhile, Lawrence is getting even more frustrated, and Mr. Rich and his wife are worried too, thinking Richie must be trying to find us by now. Now Lawrence comes up with a new evil plan. He traps Cadbury in a fake criminal case and gets him sent to jail. Richie try to stop, but they fail. Now Cadbury is gone, and Richie is completely broken inside. His parents are missing, and now even Cadbury is not there to help him. Meanwhile, Lawrence tells Richie, "You could be attacked just like your parents were." He forces Richie to stay locked inside the house and installs CCTV cameras everywhere so Richie cannot escape or contact anyone. One day, Lawrence secretly talks to his men and says, "We already crashed Richie's parents' plane. Now we just have to finish off Richie too." But Professor overhears this conversation, who quickly goes to meet Richie. He tells Richie everything and gives him a special liquid. The professor says this liquid can help Cadbury escape from jail. It can melt through metal easily. Cadbury uses the liquid to melt the jail bars by pouring it on. The metal gate melts, and Cadbury sneaks out through a back window. He escapes safely. On the way, Richie meets Cadbury again and tells him the truth. It was Mr. Lawrence who did all this. He wanted to steal our property. They goes to Millie's house and says, "Can I please use your computer? It's really urgent." Millie takes him upstairs to help. Richie is trying to contact his parents. He almost connects with his dad. Just then, Lawrence finds out that Richie is trying to contact his parents and cuts off the main connection. Because of that, Richie loses the call, but now he knows the truth. His parents are still alive. But Lawrence also finds out where Richie's parents are hiding. So he sends his men, captures them, and brings them back to his house, keeping them as prisoners. Now Richie, his friends, and Mr. Cadbury plan a rescue mission. They cut all the CCTV camera wires around house so that no one can see them coming. But just when they're about to save Richie's parents, Lawrence catches Richie. His parents tell him not to worry because they are safe. However, Lawrence captures Richie and all the kids, locking them in a large cage with plans to harm them. Just in time, the professor arrives and helps them escape, stopping the machine that was going to grind them. Everyone is saved. Meanwhile, Lawrence forces Rich to open Richie's locker, thinking it contains something valuable. But inside, there there are only Richie's childhood memories, like toys and drawings. Richie and his mother escape and reach the statue area, but Lawrence finds them and tries to attack. Luckily, Mr. Cadbury arrives just in time and defeats Lawrence, saving them. The next day, Richie's friends all come together to play a game of baseball. The danger is gone, Mr. Lawrence is arrested, and everyone is finally at peace. Mr. Cadbury becomes close with Millie's parents, and Richie is very happy because he now has true friends and a safe, loving family.